Sic Parvis Magna, greatness from small beginnings. And welcome back to Chump Change Investments. Today we're diving into a topic a lot of people are talking about right now, SpaceX. The IPO hype is everywhere. The price action is wild, and everyone is trying to figure out what the real buy-in range is going to be once the dust settles.
And while investors wait for SpaceX to cool off and find its true level, there are other companies, real companies, that beginners can look at right now. These are names that give you exposure to the space economy, the tech behind it, and the infrastructure powering it, all at price points that are way more accessible than the giants. So today we're breaking down 4 stocks that sit in that sweet spot. Affordable, interesting, and connected to the future of space and technology. Let's start with Applied Digital. This company sits at the intersection of AI, high-performance computing, and digital infrastructure. And that's a powerful place to be right now. Applied Digital builds and operates massive data centers designed for workloads that require serious horsepower, artificial intelligence training, blockchain processing, and high-compute enterprise applications. These aren't your everyday server rooms. These are specialized, high-density facilities built to handle the most demanding computational tasks on the planet. Today, Applied Digital closed at $46.27, with after-hours trading bringing it to $46. Throughout the day, it moved between roughly $45.90 and $48.45, showing the kind of healthy volatility you expect from a company in a fast-growing sector. What makes APLD interesting for beginners is that it gives you exposure to the infrastructure behind AI without having to buy the mega caps like Nvidia or Amazon. You're essentially investing in the digital real estate that all these AI models run on. And here's the key. As AI demand grows, compute demand grows. And as compute demand grows, companies like Applied Digital become more essential. They're not building apps, they're building the backbone. And that's why this stock sits comfortably in our lineup today. Next up is Iridium Communications, a company that's been in the satellite game long before it was trendy. Iridium operates a fully deployed constellation of satellites that provide global voice and data coverage. We're talking aviation, maritime, emergency services, government agencies, and industries that rely on communication in places where cell towers simply don't exist. Iridium closed today at $43.45, with a day range between $42.84 and $45.39. It's a stable, established business with real customers and real revenue, and that it's important for beginners who want exposure to space without the roller coaster volatility of early stage companies. What makes Iridium unique is that it's not trying to compete with SpaceX or Starlink directly. Instead, it fills a different niche: reliable, global, low bandwidth communication for critical industries. Think of it as the backbone for mission critical connectivity. When a ship is in the middle of the ocean, or a plane is crossing the Arctic, or a rescue team is deep in the wilderness, Iridium is the network that keeps them connected. For beginners, this is a great example of a space-related stock that's not a moonshot. It's a business with a long track record, a proven model, and a clear role in the global communications ecosystem.
Now let's move into the more speculative side of the space economy, starting with Redwire. Redwire is one of those companies that most people don't know by name, but they've touched almost every major space mission. In some way, they build the infrastructure that makes space operations possible. Solar arrays, navigation systems, deployable structures, in-space manufacturing components, the behind-the-scenes hardware that keeps satellites and spacecraft functioning. Redwire closed today at $13.55, with after-hours trading bringing it to $13.40 and a day high of $14.83. It's a small cap company, which means it has more room to grow, but also more volatility. That's why we classify this one as a moonshot. But it's a moonshot with real contracts, real technology, and real involvement in the space industry. What makes Redwire compelling is that they're not trying to be SpaceX. They're not launching rockets. They're not building satellites. They're supplying the tools, components, and systems that everyone else needs. In other words, they're the picks and shovels of the space gold rush. And historically, Picks and shovels companies have done extremely well when the industries they support begin to scale. And finally, Planet Labs. This is one of the most fascinating companies in the space data world. Planet Labs operates one of the largest fleets of Earth imaging satellites in orbit, capturing high-resolution images of the entire planet on a daily basis. Their customers range from agriculture and climate science to defense, mapping, logistics, and government agencies. Planet Labs closed today at $28.21, with after-hours trading nudging it to $28.25 and a day range between $27 and $29.70. What makes Planet Labs so interesting is that they're not just selling images, they're selling insights. Their data helps farmers optimize crop yields, helps governments monitor environmental changes, helps companies track supply chains, and even helps humanitarian organizations respond to natural disasters. This is the data layer of the space economy. While companies like SpaceX and Rocket Lab focus on launch, Planet Labs focuses on information. And information is one of the most valuable commodities in the world. For beginners, this is a way to invest in the intelligence side of space, not the hardware side.
So while everyone waits for SpaceX to settle into a real buy-in range, these four companies give you exposure to the future of space, technology, and digital infrastructure, all at price points that are far more accessible than the giants.
So don't forget to hit that like button and share this with someone whose interest has been sparked. And remember, greatness from small beginnings. Have a blessed and financially successful week ahead, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.